Dylan Welch. Dylan Welch.
Thank you to Mary and Norman for making Clover happen and for making this reading happen. And thank you for all the good company here, both in the journal and being here today. We're going to go from Taiwan to Japan. This first poem is called Flowers on the Roof of Hell, and it begins with a haiku by the Japanese haiku master Issa, who comes over for dinner. In this world we walk on the roof of hell, gazing at flowers. Today, Issa came over for dinner. Nothing fancy, just Thai takeout from the place down the road. He came on foot, carrying a satchel. I welcomed him at the door, and he removed his sandals. The low evening sun sparkled through the tall glass of water I gave him. He admired it before he drank it in one go. I showed him to the living room where he sat on the couch, almost delicately. Then, as if conscious of his bare feet, he curled them up under himself. We talked of poetry all through dinner, stray noodles landing on the plain wooden table as we ate. We talked of favorite poets and poems, and the challenge of writing freshly about old subjects. We talked of writing one's joy in a fiercely crushed world of flowers on the roof of hell. When he told me it was time for him to go, I asked if I could give him a ride, but he declined as I knew he would. He had a long way to travel, but held a finger to his lips and gently shook his smile. Then Issa took his sandals in hand and padded off into the dark. I opened the satchel he left behind. Inside it bloomed white asters. We go from Issa to Basho, the great Japanese master of haiku. Basho updates his Facebook page. Monday. Took a walk around the pond today to enjoy the spring sunshine. Heard a frog jumped in. Thought I'd write a poem about it. Tuesday. For centuries, poems about frogs have celebrated their croak. So writing about the sound of a frog jumping into the water seems pretty radical. Any of you homies think I should go for it anyway? Wednesday. Got the last two lines down of my new poem. Kawazu tobukomu mizu no oto. I'm stuck on the first line. Shoot me your suggestions if you've got any. Thursday. Settled on furuike ya for my first line. Thanks, buddy, for the suggestion. You know who you are. Friday. Decided against the frog legs for dinner. And for my contribution to Clover. This is called the Mended Shoji, and it's a sequence of haiku about my first trip to Japan many years ago. And I dusted this off and I thought, I like this sequence, and it happened to be right when I saw the deadline for Clover, and so I sent it along. I'm very pleased that you took it, because it resurrected something that had been sitting in the drawer. So it's about the travel to Japan and the experience of New Year, which is sort of like the 4th of July and Christmas and Thanksgiving all rolled into one in Japanese culture. Awaiting takeoff. While he looks out the window, his fingers flip through a magazine. Second in-flight meal, this time served with chopsticks. Descending plane. My sudden reflection in the video screen. Trees without leaves, First sight of Fuji from the bullet train. Leafless trees at Nagoya Castle. I choose a Western toilet. Warm December sun. The commuter train's empty hand rings sway around the corner. Ryoanji Temple's garden of raked sand. The beginnings of hail. Kyoto Station. A woman mops the restroom floor while I pee. A break in winter clouds. Gas station attendants bow to the departing car. The Basho bronze silhouetted against bare branches. The slow-moving river. Mount Fuji's shadow. A dusting of snow on the bullet train tracks. New Year's Eve. A Japanese kite unfolded in the hotel lobby. A little before midnight, a bowl full of soba, warm in my hands. Waiting in line to ring the New Year bell. Breath fogs the air. Just before midnight, a box full of shells to count the bell rings. They ring 108 times for each of your sins or something like that. Instead of actually counting them, they just have a box and just move the shells from one box to the other. Much easier to count. The old rope smooth in my hand, New Year's bell fading. First dream of the year, a reflection of Mount Fuji in the just melted lake. The year's first dream, a hawk's eye in a martini glass. First dream of the year, an eggplant rolls off the pine wood cutting board. I have to confess, I made that up because I read that eggplants and pines are good things to dream about for the new year. Old good luck charms piled by the shrine's bonfire. The New Year bell rings. Always bring your old charms in to the temple to be burned, and of course they want you to buy new ones. New Year's Day, still a few persimmons in the neighbor's tree. New chopsticks wrapped in bright ribbons, the year's first meal. The year's first sleet ticking at the window, the calligrapher's flowing arm. Red capes on the stone foxes, the clack of bamboo in the year's first wind. Sequence is called the mended shoji, and shoji are the paper screens you've seen in some doorways. Year of the snake, hole in the shoji, now mended. This poem is dedicated to everyone who farts rainbows. It's called Rainbow Apocalypse. I am really pretty. My name is Hello Kitty. I love to play with doilies and have tea parties with my friends. I heart rainbows and sunshine and hope my happy never ends. But something happened today as I skipped my way through the pet store. The puppies and kittens all seemed possessed as they hopscotched across the floor. Something had come over them like a play fort blanket of doom. It was, I discovered, the rainbow apocalypse, and I've come to share it with you. There's no way out, no escaping its cuteness and infection. Kawaii will come to haunt and kill you with all its calmness and gout. So come, my pretties, to the bright side. Come before it's too late. Succumb to the rainbow apocalypse. Come and embrace your fate. One last poem here. This is for all those who have been teachers, especially adjunct teachers or professors at various universities. This is Confessions of a Learned and Publishing Professor. I think that I should like to be considered a difficult poet. I should like my metaphors to be uncanny. I should like my images to be not merely deep but unusurpable. I should like my implications to be palpably plangent. My themes insubordinate, my forms diabolical. I should like my rhythms to be poison or feathers, or perhaps with increasing regularity, ineluctable. I should want my first editions to be squabbled over on eBay, the queues to be tedious at my book signings. I should like, in fact, to have a society about me before I'm dead. I should like the Pulitzer, the Lilly, the Nobel, and how about a knighthood? And while I'm at it, sainthood. Then, surely, I will enter the canon and gain, finally, tenure.